Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're talking about something pretty serious, forging the mental armor you need to walk your own path. We're going to lay out a protocol for building a truly sovereign mind.
So, let's just jump right in with a big question. Why is the path to greatness, well, so lonely? I mean, if you've ever felt that choosing a different path comes with this heavy psychological price tag, you are not wrong. But the reason why, that might just surprise you.
Okay, so the answer really lies in our environment. I mean, think about it. The modern world it's like an ecosystem that's been engineered for conformity, for capturing your attention. It's designed to keep you right there, in the herd. So when you decide to choose your own way, it's not just a different choice. It's an act of rebellion. And any rebellion needs some serious mental armor.
And that's what this explainer is all about. It's your guide to that rebellion. We're going to build that mental armor piece by piece, and we're starting right at the foundation of your mind. It's neurochemistry.
See, before you can even think about building a psychological fortress, you have to secure the biological machinery that runs the whole show, your motivation. Your brain's reward system is what drives your ability to tackle those really difficult goals, and right now it is under constant assault.
This here visualizes something absolutely crucial, the brain's internal balancing act. Every little hit of cheap pleasure, scrolling social media, eating junk food, it tips the scale. But here's the kicker. Your brain demands balance, so it pushes back just as hard toward pain. And what does that leave you with? Anxiety, irritability, and a much lower baseline for motivation. You are literally training your brain to avoid hard things.
And look, fixing this isn't some 24-hour hack. It's not that simple. A true neurochemical reset, that takes about 30 days. This protocol right here guides you through 4 really distinct phases, from that initial painful withdrawal of what's called the severance, all the way to the restored balance of the sovereign state.
So, once your baseline is restored, the battle isn't over. Not by a long shot. You're still going to face what neuroscientists call limbic friction. What is that? It's that feeling, that resistance you get between an intention and an action. You know that, I know I should do this, but I just can't start feeling. Even with a healthy dopamine system, this friction can stop you dead in your tracks. The goal isn't just to want to do the work, it's to make starting it feel almost effortless.
Okay, so with your neurochemistry reset and a strategy for that friction, now it's time to install a brand new operating system for your mind. We're talking about one that builds resilience against all the chaos of the outside world. And for this, we're going to turn to the ancient Stoics.
This right here, this is the core of Stoic power. It's a ruthless categorization of your entire life into 2 buckets. That's it. What's in your control and what isn't. The opinions of others, your reputation, praise, criticism, all of it, every last bit, goes into the not in your control bucket. And that simple act, it renders them completely powerless over your emotional state. It's a game changer.
Most people are told to visualize success, but the sovereign individual, they visualize failure. It sounds weird, but this Stoic practice, the premeditation of evils, is an incredibly powerful mental simulation. By thinking through the worst-case scenarios in advance, you strip them of their power to shock you, and you've already prepared a virtuous, calm response for when things go south.
So all these practices, managing what you assent to, premeditating adversity, this is how you actually construct what the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius called the inner citadel. It's a psychological fortress you can retreat into at any moment, a place of total calm and reason that is just immune to external chaos.
Now, building this inner citadel often means you're going to be spending more time alone. And society, well, it treats loneliness like it's a disease that needs to be cured. But what if we've got it all wrong? What if solitude wasn't a bug, but a feature, a necessary condition for groundbreaking work?
History is just filled with examples of this. When the Great Plague forced Cambridge University to close, Isaac Newton was sent into isolation. It was during that period of intense solitude that he had his year of wonders, developing calculus and his theories on optics and motion. His genius wasn't just in his intellect, it was in his ability to use solitude productively.
And centuries earlier, you had Michel de Montaigne. He retired from public life, went to his castle tower to just read and think. He didn't just endure the solitude, he used it to figure out, in his words, how to belong to oneself. And what was the result? He invented the essay, a foundational form of modern thought. Then there's the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche. He saw society as a kind of contaminant. For him, solitude was a form of mental hygiene. He'd walk for hours alone in the mountains to cleanse his mind of what he called herd morality, so he could actually generate original thoughts. You see the common thread here, right? They didn't just endure solitude, they leveraged it.
So this brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, the operational protocol. How do you turn this fortified mind, this reclaimed focus, and this weaponized solitude into actual, tangible, high-value output? Well, the answer is deep work.
To produce work that's undeniable, you have to work in a state of distraction-free concentration. It's just not optional. But this requires choosing a philosophy. Are you going to be monastic, like a recluse who radically eliminates all shallow work? Or are you bimodal, like a professor who spends one semester in deep focus and the next engaging with the world? The choice really depends on your life structure and ultimately your mission.
And this is how you put it all together. This is your daily battle plan. From viewing sunlight first thing in the morning to set your circadian rhythm, to your inner citadel practice, to those structured deep work blocks. This template is designed for one thing: autonomy and peak performance.
Now, a really crucial part of this is the shutdown ritual. To prevent burnout and actually allow for true recovery, you have to give your brain a clear, unambiguous signal that the workday is over. That's what this is for. Saying a phrase out loud, like schedule shutdown complete, makes that transition concrete and non-negotiable for your mind. So this entire protocol, mastering your neurochemistry, building that inner citadel, and structuring your days for deep work, it brings us all the way back to our original question, but now with a final provocative thought.
The path is lonely. Yes, we started there. But it's lonely because you're out at the frontier. You're away from the noise of the crowd. By following these protocols, you don't just survive the loneliness, you transform it. It becomes the very source of your strength, your focus, and your unique contribution to the world. You don't fix the loneliness, you weaponize it. You become a sovereign individual.